Hi there, I'm Jules. Nice to see you. The word of the day today is plan. Kind of like what you need if you're gonna do any kind of activity. You need some kind of plan, right? If you'd like to know why plan is the word of the day, watch my next video and then read the description to find out. Hey babes! Today we're playing the 7 Districts of Sin, The Tail Makes the Fox again! Hopefully this game doesn't go for too long, but I'm liking it so far. We'll see. It's easier for Jules to concentrate now that she has a hovel to call her own. Ready to do her best for the one true overlord, the happy worker knuckles down and gets right on it. Alright, let's do this. 30 minutes later.
Hello?
The door inches open. A sandwich on a plate is the first thing to enter the room. It shakes in the hands of the small, silver-haired girl who's peeking into the office. She had knocked beforehand, but no one answered.
Is she dead? Fox?
Collie lingers by the door. She stands on her tiptoes, trying to see more of the room and peek over the blockade of files on the desk. But still, no one answers.
Fox?
She walks slowly into the room. She knows there's nothing to be wary of, besides rats and rotten floorboards, but the old wing of the palace still gives her the creeps.
Fox, are you...
It sounded like a gunshot. Jesus. Collie slips on a loose piece of paper. Still holding onto the plate, she and the sandwich fall to the ground with a loud crash. The commotion wakes Jules from her nap. Who's there? Standing alert, the fox girl looks around the room, her hands engulfed in flames and ears twitching as she listens for the intruder.
Put this out!
The Gumiho looks down at the white-haired girl. A snicker becomes a laugh, and a laugh becomes tears of joy at the sight of Collie. The flames disappear as Jules puts her hand to her mouth, trying to stifle the laughter.
Yuck!
Collie rises to her feet and begins a futile attempt to clean herself up. Nothing can help remove the large mustard stain that's now down the front of her dress, though. Nice of you to drop in, but I didn't call for room service.
I did this for Anzu, not for you. I was instructed to bring you some lunch and
you decided to wear it instead? Jules' smug face sparks a fire under Collie. Sadly, the girl's not allowed to lay a finger on the auditor, as Anzu was quick to remind her before she left. So the only thing her anger can actually do is spark a blush across her pale cheeks. I'll eat it, why not? At least the best part of it is okay. That's cute. Jules reaches towards the girl. Wide-eyed and off guard, Collie flinches, the lettuce crown falling off her head as she steps back. She stares back, trying to keep her eyes defiant, even though she's really just too afraid to blink in case Jules, the supposed Gumiho, plucks a slab of sandwich meat from the girl's shoulder.
Huh?
Jules licks her lips happily as she swallows the meat.
You beast!
A watery-eyed Collie shuts out. She hasn't blinked for the longest time, and still, the fright won't let her. A beast? That's rich, coming from a girl who looks like a rabbit caught in a cabbage patch. The blonde's tongue runs over the front of her teeth. Rabbit stew. Damn, I'd kill for that.
Was that a threat?
What?
You think I'm a rabbit and you're a no-good fox.
Oh, I didn't think about it like that. If only she were a real rabbit and not just some pest with a bad attitude. The auditor rolls her eyes, causing the silver-haired girl's face to fall with anger again. To fill with anger again.
Don't do that!
Don't do what?
That! Are all you foxes so...
I'm not a fox.
Fine. Kitsune, or whatever you call it.
I'm a Gumiho, not a Kitsune. Big difference.
Where are all of your tails then?
I don't have any more tails.
Then you can't be called a...
I don't need 9 tails to be a Gumiho. I know what I am. A long pause ensues as both of the girls try to save face and avoid their own haunting insecurities, the room deathly quiet throughout the whole process. Their scowls slacken along with their diminishing prides. Thanks for the sandwich. What was that?
Nothing.
Jules rolls her eyes, but the girl doesn't comment this time. She's already commented enough on things that don't concern her, and yet...
What are you smiling at?
This is the most I've ever heard you say. I guess I'm kind of enjoying it.
Don't get used to it.
The smaller girl tries to fight back a blush. She knows she should take her own advice, as Anzu always reminds her. The door slams behind Collie. For a moment, she just stands behind the now closed door and breathes in slowly.
I can't let Governor's Anzu see me like this!
Her cheeks still burn, and the urge to scream into a pillow makes her whole body tingle. Slapping herself on the cheeks, she tries to dispel whatever it is that's gnawing at her mind. A door creaks, and a cold cold draft blows down the hall. Kali's face glows with fright. Suddenly, she doesn't care if Anzu sees her, just as long as she gets out of the old wing as fast as possible.
I thought we could continue looking over the numbers sent from the ghost town. They've been fluctuating lately. Or maybe we could play a game of checkers instead. We can use the same rules as last time.
The girl's been on edge ever since she came back from seeing Jules. This would have been entertaining if the girl dealt with it better. Instead, she's chatty.
My governess?
I'm bored.
Then we can...
Of you, Kali. I'm so bored of you. I need something to excite me.
We don't have to play checkers.
Ugh.
Anzu groans. The more Kali speaks, the more displeased the woman becomes.
I like it better when you're silent.
I am sorry, governess. I'll remain silent from now on.
And yet, that's still so boring.
The woman suddenly smiles. Kali's whole heart leaps up from seeing Anzu smile so honestly. The only problem is that she isn't the cause of said smile.
Mr. Zanzu, did you think of something to do?
The succubus leaves the room without comment, and the girl rises quickly to follow after her.
Stay here, Kali.
The governess shuts the door behind her, leaving the girl alone in the room.
Then perhaps I can... My governess?
Kali tries to open the door, but each time she presses her keycard to the sensor, a red light appears above it.
My governess? My governess, you seem to have locked the door. My... Anzu, please open the door!
The door suddenly stops rattling and becomes still. Kali lies in front of the entrance, her body curled up to hide her face.
Don't leave me behind!
Knock, knock.
Jules looks up from her work. Her instincts tell her to stand, but then her pride reminds her that it's only Anzu. However, the auditor is still a ward of the main held government and should therefore be act accordingly.
Someone's been working hard. And I love what you've done with the place.
Anzu walks around the room as if she owns it, which she does, but that isn't the point. The point is, the governess has a horrible talent for making places suddenly feel uncomfortable.
It's been a while since I've been in here. No wonder. It is indeed standard at best. Oh, how time flies.
Did you come here for small talk, Governess Anzu?
No, I came for tea, but you don't seem to have any.
I don't really like tea. Not true, I love tea.
That doesn't surprise me.
For a long moment, the woman doesn't say anything, leaving Jules to stand awkwardly while waiting for Anzu's attention to wander back to her. But it never does. The raven-haired woman makes herself comfortable, sitting on top of the desk in a half lounge, digging her nails into the wood of the object. I would appreciate it if you'd...
Find anything? Interesting, that is. Though, looking at those files, I doubt it. There's nothing interesting in them.
Anzu casts a mocking grin on the sad pile of files, the scratching of her nails growing increasingly loud the longer she stares. Jules remains silent, and Anzu's smile begins to strain under her thinning patience.
You're surprisingly committed to your cause, aren't you? That's just the type Lucy likes to keep around. Workers who are like good disposable razors. I suppose it's because that one finds them the easiest to toss aside when they're no longer useful.
Then you should understand why I'm eager to get back to my task. Jules keeps her head bowed away from Anzu's prying gaze. Just one crack is all the wiggle room the woman needs to dig her talons in. The fox keeps her head bowed, saving herself from the succubus's prying gaze. Anzu leans in closer, but is surprised to see that the girl simply remains on task.
Maybe I'm losing my touch.
But that is what makes new playthings so fun, finding out what makes them snap.
Fox, look at me when I speak to you. Your rudeness doesn't reflect well upon those who raised you.
Jules raises her head and looks Anzu in the face, eye to eye.
You have a keen eye, don't you? How amusing.
Jules' stare doesn't falter, even though her heart feels like it will. She doesn't know how much more of Anzu's prying she can tolerate.
Now, let me ask you again. What has that keen eye of yours found?
I'll be honest, not much. Honestly, I doubt any of it would interest anyone. The Gumiho takes the biggest slice of humble pie as she admits her defeat. She isn't some well-seasoned spy. She's just a two-tailed Gumiho who can read boring files very quickly. Besides being an almighty Gumiho, there really isn't anything spectacular about her. Maybe it isn't a big slice of humble pie, but it's still a start.
Not even Lucy?
Especially not Lucifer. The fox's tail droops between her legs, and her ears fall a little flatter. She knows what she needs to do to succeed. She's just not sure that she can accomplish it.
She looks so defeated.
Anzu laughs softly to herself, finishing her little etching on the table.
Well, I had better let you hurry up and finish then.
There is one thing, though. The succubus doesn't hide the falter in her smile very well, but she recovers as gracefully as she moves.
What's that?
One of the files mentions that you were appointed governess only 900 years ago. You were very young when you started, probably one of the youngest governors to date.
Well, we shouldn't believe everything we read, should we?
Jules and Anzu share a knowing look, one that neither can read but both feel intensely. Anzu bounces off the desk, straightening out her clothes before turning to leave. She makes it all the way to the door before stopping and casting a glance over her shoulder at the now seated fox girl.
I almost forgot the reason I came.
Besides to terrorize Kali and poke the fire beneath Jules, that is.
Dinner's ready. Don't be late. We take our seats at the hour.
Anzu gives a short wave, and then the clip-clop of her shoes fades down the hallway. At last, Jules can breathe easily. She rocks her head from side to side, trying to get the tense knots out, when her eyes catch sight of the desk Anzu had been leaning on. She gets up, wiping away the curls of wood carvings and dust to find her name freshly scratched into the wood surface. But it isn't just her name. She counts over 16 other names, now well-aged and all scratched into the wood. Is this her idea of a warning? In fact, it's part of a long tradition of Anzu's playful warnings, since not one of those names' owners left Anzu's company unscratched. Well, it's not going to work. Jules is made of tougher stuff. She's close to getting what she came for, and there's no turning back for one so determined. Defeated? Ha! She laughs at the idea. Ha 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 ha! Jules finds her way back to the main wing, and suddenly she's thrown into a maze of hallways and doors. I should have left with Anzu. Even in her current situation, she only half means that. The girl finally takes a wild guess and exits the service hallway. To her relief, she finds her way back to the main entrance. Ha! Who needs that lady now? Despite her stroke of luck, the main entrance hall isn't where she wants to be, and she shouldn't celebrate just yet, as Jules is about to discover for herself. The clock chimes for the new hour. The girl is now officially late. Everyone will be sitting down for dinner, and Anzu's office will be left unguarded. Bingo. Now she can celebrate, though it will be short-lived. Jules turns the knob of the door, but it won't budge. Idiot, like Anzu would ever just leave it open. The auditor looks over at the keycard reader. I could just lie. I was looking for them, or something like that. I am lost, and this is the only place I know how to get to. That's a totally believable lie, right? But it's a lie, and one thing Anzu can do well is sniff out lies. The Gumiho doesn't know that, though, and so with a brave amount of stupidity, she takes out her keycard.
Here you are.
The girl slips the keycard into her sleeve before turning to the vampire, who just so happens to be passing by.
Dinner has begun.
I got lost, she says faster than is believable.
Then it's a good thing I found you. I'll escort you to the dining room.
Jules nods and follows after Saleos, looking back at the door. Although she's grateful someone has stopped her from doing something so rash, the girl is just itching to know what Anzu is hiding.
The dining room is just through there. I'm sorry for not informing you sooner.
The pale man stops at a door that looks exactly like all the others they just passed, and next to it, there's another keycard reader, which is surprising. Do all the rooms here have keycard readers?
Most do. They didn't used to, but certain visitors made it necessary.
I bet this has to do with those names on the desk. Other spies, perhaps?
My life would be so much easier if Gaki didn't exist.
Jules takes out her keycard, but Saleos beats her to the punch.
You only have limited access, correct?
I can't even open the door to the dining room myself?
Perhaps I'm simply being too cautious. The dining room should be okay. The governess most likely only placed limits on her own workspace, wouldn't you say?
He looks at Jules knowingly. So did he see what I was about to do? Then why hasn't he ratted me out yet? The vampire opens the door and steps aside to let the Gumiho walk in front of him.
Saleos, there you are.
Sorry for my lateness, governess. I was just fetching our guest from her office.
Oh, so it's the fox's fault.
I have a lot of work to do.
So much that you're late for dinner. How rude. Hurry up and take a seat. We've already started without you.
Saleos takes his seat first, kneeling on a large cushion next to Kali, which leaves Jules with no choice but to sit between him and Anzu. Is everyone here?
Yes, we only have a small team of workers.
Size doesn't matter, Fox. Efficiency does.
Only 4 cushions are placed around the grand table that can comfortably fit 16 people. Then there's the food. Several different dishes are placed on their own respective communal plates. Slices of rare beef sit in puddles of blood, and grilled fish fillets are being blackened by a hot plate. There's enough food to feed an orphanage. Jules looks over at Anzu's plate, and it's nothing but shellfish and fruit, a strange combination that the succubus picks at between her sharp-tongued quips. So, Kali and Saleos are the only employees here.
Of course not. I said efficient, not stupid. They are the only resident employees. The others take care of matters off-site.
What sort of matters?
Ugh.
The governess rolls her eyes and pops a grape into her mouth, obviously done with Jules' questions.
Perhaps we should leave the interrogations for outside of the dining room.
Saleos offers gently. Anzu breaks the head off a king prawn, sucks the meat out of it in bitter silence. The vampire, taking this as a cue to begin eating, serves himself and Jules. The room dines in a strange silence. Anzu looks to Kali, but the girl never raises her head from her plate as she pushes her salad around. Is she
still sulking? What a boring toy she's turning out to be.
Oops. The woman catches Jules staring at Kali with a concerned furrowing of her brow. The governess's attention bounces between them as she wonders which will entertain her the most.
You shouldn't fill yourself up on meat, Fox. Try some of the oysters.
Oysters? The blonde looks around the table, but she's never seen an oyster before. There are a few things on the table that she's never seen before, in fact. Some of them appear rather frightening to her, like the strange fruit that looks like the inside of a cracked head.
Oh, you poor child. Have you never had an oyster before?
Oysters are nasty. Anzu lifts a half shell off of her own plate, shifting the fleshy blob around in its own cloudy juices. Ugh, it doesn't look very delicious, but Jules' tails still flick with anticipation. Will it taste like shrimp? Or maybe it's like tuna.
Now, say ah.
It tastes like snot. Ew. The succubus lifts the shell to Jules' lips and pours the goop down her mouth. The girl winces at the strange sensation of the oyster rolling down her throat. Ugh.
Silly thing, don't just swallow it. You should chew it a few times first. Really grind the flavor out. Here, try another one.
Anzu moves in towards Jules again, and the fox leans in, opening her mouth, ready to receive the second helping of seafood. This is weird. Oops. Kali's fork clatters to the ground. The Gumiho looks away from Anzu and to the red-faced girl. She stares right back at Jules, and for once, she doesn't look so angry. More like frightened.
Stupid girl!
Sorry, governess.
Kali's body shakes as she lowers her head and retrieves the fork from the floor.
That's better. Now, back to you, dear.
I think I've had enough.
Nonsense. Now, open up.
No, really,
Open your mouth.
Jules looks at Kali, and then out of the corner of her eye sees Saleos nod slowly. The Gumiho turns back to Anzu with a weak smile and opens her mouth. This time, Jules chews the raw oyster. It's probably one of the most delicious things she's ever tasted, but it certainly doesn't answer the question of why she had such a bitter taste in her mouth all of a sudden. The governess practically force-feeds Jules the entire meal. It doesn't go unnoticed by Kali or Saleos, but neither speaks up about the woman's strange behavior. After all that rich food, the Gumiho feels too tired to continue on with her work, and as Saleos suggests to her, she goes back to her room to take a nap. She wakes from her nap feeling recharged, grateful for the suggestion from earlier. The only problem now is that she doesn't quite feel like getting back to work yet. Her head just isn't there. Let's go back to Saleos. Jules finally decides that what she has to do outweighs what she feels like doing. The Great One didn't entrust me with this mission so I could go messing around. It's about time I kick this investigation into high gear and really dig up some dirt on this place. With a new sense of determination, the auditor sets off for the archives. If she can't get into Anzu's office, then this will be the next best place to search. Some of the newer files Saleos has been working on recategorizing may just be hiding the information she needs. Before she can even push the door open, it's being pulled away from her hands. A second later, there stands Saleos. So much for kicking this mission into high gear. Jules had hoped the archives would be empty. Now, getting to those files didn't seem quite so possible, even for an egotistical optimist like her.
I didn't expect to see you back here so soon.
I don't want this audit to take any longer than it has to. I decided to put in a couple more hours.
Come on in, from one dutiful worker to another.
The vampire moves to the side and allows the girl into the room.
I haven't had the time to clean anything up, so your old desk is just how you left it.
You don't sleep and you still don't have a lot of time? Work must be pretty intense for you.
There just aren't enough hours in a day, honestly.
Are you seriously always here?
What does that have to do with anything?
Saleos laughs humorlessly, shaking his head as if the question isn't even worth thinking about. You're always here.
It's my job.
Don't you have anything else to do? That wouldn't be ruining my investigation?
I could ask you the very same question.
Saleos and his talent for being in the worst places at the worst of times, or just in his case, the most convenient places at the most convenient of times, is starting to irritate Jules. Wherever she wants to be, there he is. It can't be a coincidence, and it truly isn't. Just who does the girl think monitors the security cameras?
And actually, I will.
Don't bother, I'm leaving. This is a waste of her time anyway. There's nothing here, and the vampire's only getting in her way. She has better things to do than stick around. Jules feels both emotionally and physically exhausted. For her first full day of work, it feels like the last. Although she's no closer to the answer she needs for her report, the day hasn't been a complete waste. She yawns, barely able to keep her eyes open. The Gumiho just barely manages to undress before drifting off to sleep. Saleos, age 350, occupation archival master, a young vampire who barely knows anything about his own past. He takes great pleasure in little things, wine, a good book, and things. There are reasons why, despite every last personality trait in her, Jules is in fact a diligent worker. Wait, why did it skip? Why does it time skip like that? It's not simply because of her tragic backstory or because of the fact that she idolizes a tyrant. The girl's a hard worker because she is always overcompensated for her two-tailed existence. The logic plays is this. Not all foxes have 9 tails, but all Gumihos are diligent. Conclusion. No matter how many tails a fox has, a diligent fox is a Gumiho. That statement is incorrect, of course. A Gumiho, by definition, must have 9 tails. But it's that sort of logic that plays in Jules' head and makes her work her hardest, even when the odds are stacked against her. It's all useless. There's too much to get through. Even diligent workers have moments of doubt and futility, though. In the Fox Girl's case, her doubts are probably worth listening to, and she should pack up and leave before she digs deeper into problems that go beyond matters of simply finance. But I can't give up. I have people who are depending on me. By people, Jules obviously means Lucifer. Everyone else she neither knows nor cares about. If she did, perhaps she'd consider their needs first and put an end to the witch hunt. What am I going to do? The Gumiho's head slams down onto the open file. She ran the numbers in her head, and the files will take at least another week to get through. Time she doesn't have for work that doesn't promise to be fruitful. What the girl needs is to look long and hard at her life choices and make some new ones. She won't do that, however, so I'll break Anzu's neck. She won't do that either. Or hold her head underwater till her life flashes before her eyes. Perhaps Jules' thoughts should be kept to herself while she's contemplating her next move. The most important thing is that in the next few moments, everything will become clear. That's it, I'm taking this straight to the head. I'm not wasting my time here for a moment longer. If the fox had waited those few minutes, she surely would have experienced something more pleasant than what she's running towards now. The only thing that this encounter is fated to achieve is even more headache, and perhaps some heartache too. Saleos! Jules bursts through the archives doors and, in a way that isn't befitting of a guest, shouts across the room with her chest puffed up and her nose up high. I demand to speak to Anzu. The silence persists, and Jules' puffed up chest begins to deflate. Saleos? The Gumiho walks further into the room, but finds no one within it. Just when you think you know a guy, he all just up and leaves. When is Saleos not? A presence lurks behind her, and she suddenly catches the metallic scent of fresh blood in the air.
When I'm at lunch is the answer to your question.
Jules turns, backing into the desk and putting distance between Saleos and herself. The vampire never seems to be a comfortable distance away. It's always left to Jules to put him in his place. An overall fair distance away, where the stink of the pale man's bad diet can't abuse the girl's nose for a moment longer than necessary.
What brings you to the archives? I thought you had all the things you needed already.
I demand to speak to Governess Anzu.
Is that truly wise?
The vampire raises his brow, which is less effective when the other is already raised. It just makes him look more shocked than perplexed. That's for me to decide.
It's best not to poke fires with your bare hands. It wouldn't be good for anyone who's involved.
That's not my problem. I'm here to do a job, so I'm going to do it. Now take me to Anzu.
If you want to speak to the governess, then why did you come here?
Jules opens her mouth, wanting to think of a better reason than the truth. When none come, she declares her reason with pride. I got lost!
Of course she did. Better to get this over with now, then.
The Gumiho begins to follow Saleos out of the archives, but the guide stops abruptly along their path.
I believe it's best if you wait here. I'll go and inquire whether the governess is in the mood for company or not. If she is, I'll bring her here.
And if she isn't? Jules' smug smile doesn't agree with the pale man.
You will thank Lucifer that you got lost and found me first.
Saleos looks around Anzu's office, but only Kali and an arrangement of cakes are there. The man knows that the smart thing to do is ignore his suspicions and take everything at face value. It's a shame that his own work ethic is getting in the way of that common sense.
Is the governess here?
No!
Why are you panting like that?
I was just exercising.
While eating cake? You'll get sick.
Of course, while eating cake. The governess was feeling bored and wanted to see my mouth do something entertaining. She decided that eating cake for her would do for now. Then she had a great idea. If I ate cake while doing jumping jacks, I could eat twice as much cake for her, and...
So Governess Anzu is in here.
Kali's voice squeaks in surprise as she realizes she's been tricked.
Oh, pet, we've been found out.
The raven-haired woman walks into view, clearly happy that her little game of hide-and-seek was just as much fun as she thought it'd be.
I'm sorry, governess.
About what? You played your part beautifully.
That was a very good trick, my lady.
Was it not?
The woman laughs again. Slowly, the other two laugh with her, albeit without the same understanding of what exactly is so funny. The more they laugh, the more Anzu does too, and the longer they are expected to follow her. Finally, they're all laughing so manically that Saleos thinks he's starting to lose his mind.
Okay, that's enough.
Anzu says with a sudden amount of seriousness, her face dropping to an irritated scowl.
Why have you come here, Saleos?
The auditor wishes to have a word with you.
Why are you here, exactly? I don't recall instructing you to do her bidding.
It's tea time. You would have been displeased if she had disturbed you.
Right you are.
The governess laughs to herself. She's starting to think Saleos does his job well just to annoy her. She cannot reprimand him if he does nothing wrong. She muses over the thought while picking crumbs off Kali's clothes. Moments pass, and a delightful thought comes to the succubus's mind.
I will see her after all. She must be quite lonely.
The woman chuckles once more. She watches Kali's face crinkle in displeasure and then instantly try to hide it.
That is very wise of you, my lady.
I'll be back with you soon, pet. Come now, Saleos. Let us go see what games the fox wishes to play today.
Right this way, Governess.
Fox!
Anzu calls out loudly, much to the vampire's obvious chagrin.
Why is this becoming a habit? And of all places, why in my archives?
Anzu, I'm glad you're here.
How familiar. I never realized we were on a first-name basis, Fox.
She meant nothing by it, I'm sure. What do you want from the governess? Please, speak quickly. Having Anzu in the archives is the last thing I want right now.
Yes, do tell. I am quite interested to hear it.
I need the files on the lower tier collectors. They're not here.
Not this again.
Oh, is that all you want?
The woman's shoulders slouch, and her high spirits suddenly congeal into something ugly.
Couldn't have thought of something more entertaining than beating that dead horse?
This isn't a game, Governess.
Then, what is all of this? Your presence is really starting to irk me, Fox. Not only are you persistently in my business, but you're about as fun as roadkill. Actually, I take that back. Roadkill would still be more fun than you.
The black-haired woman thinks about it for a moment longer, and a bubble of joy blows up inside of her, strong enough that she can smile and bob her shoulders up happily.
Come along, then. Let's get your files.
Or maybe yours, my governess.
Lower tier.
Anzu mutters to herself while Jules sits on the couch, as she was instructed to do, leaning back inconspicuously to get a good look at the second part of the room. There's no door protecting it, just a set of heavy velvet curtains that are too long and pull at the threshold of the doorway.
Did you want something else?
The governess calls from inside the little room, shuffling folders around. She busies herself, putting all the files that are on the top shelf on the bottom and vice versa. Just the files that I requested.
What about the lower mid-tier? I heard they had a very good quarter last year. Or the red files? I don't know what they're for, but Carly organized them, and how beautiful! They've little petals inside to keep out that old book smell. Oh, my pet is so very thoughtful.
No, just the...
I haven't seen this in a while.
Anzu walks out, holding a small jewelry box.
This holds Carly's teeth.
You keep your baby teeth in your office?
No, that would be awfully strange. I keep her adult teeth here. She often breaks them during our games. It's a good thing they grow back so quickly, or else she would look dreadful.
Anyway, perhaps I can help you look for the files if you're having trouble locating them.
There's no need. I found them already. They're right on the table in front of you.
Just as the woman says, under the cake stand and teapot, a stack of green files are being used as coasters.
After the last time you asked for them, I had that little one check them over. I'm surprised you even want them. They're very boring.
Tampering with evidence is...
Evidence? Evidence of what? I thought you were here to check the finances. I merely had my assistant check to see if everything was there. There was no wrong in doing that. After all, that is a rather standard procedure. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes, very.
Wonderful. Since that has all been cleared up, we should get going. It's almost lunchtime, you know.
Anzu places the jewelry box of teeth onto her desk, making a mental note to show Kali how well they've kept over the years. The thought runs through her mind so furiously that she isn't as careful as she should be. The woman leaves the office first, walking briskly down the stairs to find her pet. Left to shut the door, Jules inches the door closed until there's only the slightest gap. If all goes well, she'll be able to double back to the office right after lunch and continue her search. For once, everything is going as the auditor wants. She's lost a lot of time getting these files, but with them, perhaps it'll be all worth it. Or not. There's nothing here. After reading well into the afternoon, Jules still isn't any better off than when she first started this morning. Maybe even worse off, she thinks. But she isn't. She's just exaggerating. That's how demotivation works. One moment you're on top, and the next, there's a knock at the door.
Miss me?
Ew. A hole in the head, lice, unpaid overtime, my old neighbors who used to have really, really loud...
Huh?
Those were all the things I missed more than you.
Ugh, that hurts! I went and bought you a gift and everything, too.
Gaki plops himself down on the edge of the work desk, holding an apple under the girl's nose. Secondhand gifts, how sweet of you. Some girl gave it to you, and now you're giving it to me. Jules takes the apple and bites into it, a smugly sarcastic look on her face. She doesn't really believe that even a guy like Gaki would be so low to palm off such a humble gift to another woman. But that's before the look on the boy's face makes that sarcastic comment suddenly seem real. It is, isn't it?
Well...
Jules throws the apple at the kitsune's head, the fruit suddenly not as delicious as before, even though she swallows the bite in her mouth and is kind of regretting throwing it.
Hey, I was joking. Mother gave it to me. Said I should give it to that nice-smelling fox I've been hanging around with. Mother can smell your pheromones all over me, and she says that I should strike while the iron is hot. By hot iron, she means your ovulating love canal.
Oh my god. Jules shoves the disgusting pervert off the desk. The fox boy tumbles downwards before his instincts kick in, and he lands on the ground in a low pounce.
You could have hurt me!
That was the idea, idiot. Gaki smirks, always being a gentleman who believes any reaction is a good reaction.
The harder you push, the harder I come.
He winks, standing up to his full height and waltzing around the room. God. So, did you come here for any reason in particular?
I wanted to tell someone about this girl I just met in town. She had the kind of ass that you just want to play pat cake on.
What? Who says that?
A little like yours, but with more oomph. You know, more donut than bread roll. So, when I was...
Pass.
Wait, but I was just getting to the good part.
Don't want to hear it.
Aw, but whom else shall I tell of my exploits if you won't listen? I wanted to tell Anzu, but apparently she's out playing hide and seek with Callie. I have to say, I really envy that woman sometimes. I would give my right arm for a live-in, but Mother simply won't allow something so lowbrow, as she puts it. It's a curse, being born the son of such an illustrious family.
The last son, which is as good as not being born at all.
Not when I only have sisters.
But I found out something interesting in your family file. Not only is Gaki not your first name, but there are 2 masters in your house, not just one.
Yes, myself and my soon-to-be late father. Why bring that up?
Jules pulls his family file from beneath her latest stack. She had been hoping she'd get the opportunity to smear this little juicy piece of information in Gaki's smug face sooner or later. Lady and Lord Gakilan, or Gaki for short, have 3 daughters and 2 sons, and you are the last son.
Ha! My brother is a diseased scrotum who should have been drowned at birth. We don't like to talk about him.
It says here that he was an honorary commander during the 100-Year War.
Filthy propaganda. If a coward can be a war hero, everyone else thinks they can too.
And that he's betrothed to the tastiest widow in the whole district. Tastiest?
She's a squawking harlot who's had everyone already and decided to settle for my brother because of his money, even though his face looks like a shit smear on a horse's arse.
Oh my god. And it seems like your mother is also... Gaki tears the folder from the girl's hands, looking through it to find the disgusting lie.
There's nothing but soul counts in here.
I know. Saleos told me all of that. Why did you lie to me?
I didn't lie!
He shouts back at her, his face blanched with blind anger. Slowly it fades. Nonetheless, it's hard to pretend that it was never there, which leaves a bad taste in the girl's mouth. Your name's not even Gaki.
No, it's not.
What is it actually, then? The fox boy remains quiet, pouting away the anger that his brother's memory churns in him, until Jules touches his hand, and all those negative feelings vanish from him. Like a switch goes off in his head, Gaki's regular charm comes back in full force.
That, my sweetest beauty, is a secret I'll only reveal when we are married.
When?
Of course! I must marry the only twin-tailed Gumiho in all of hell. I mean, how amazing would that be?
I don't know which is worse, your patronizing tone or the fact that you honestly think I'd marry you.
They're as good as you want them to be.
The overconfident man smirks, pressing his fingers to the auditor's mouth and stealing a kiss as he presses those same fingers to his own lips.
Keep these lips safe from me until our wedding night.
Oh my god. Jules wants to say something, but everything that comes to mind isn't nearly graphic enough to express what she wants to do with the kitsune and his delusions.
And keep these safe for me too.
Gaki hands back his family's file and adjusts his clothes, readying himself to go out on another search for the governess.
Oh, and make sure you tell that idiot Saleos that he got our soul count all wrong.
What do you mean? These numbers are almost the same as all the others in its tier.
Exactly. The Gakillian family has been performing higher than all those other slackers since the 100-Year War. All you have to do is look at our past files and you can see that.
Gaki points to a line of figures that, as far as Jules can see, are completely normal.
You see, the soul count here should have been spiked. Father hired 7 extra maids during this quarter using all the extra revenue we made, and I sure didn't bust my ass collecting souls for the fact to be recorded incorrectly. It's just like that vampire, though. He's always been jealous of my success. But this is one thing he can't take away from me.
But if all the files are like this... Gaki, you said you go out collecting, so you must know.
I'm not saying another word. If you want me to sing, you're going to have to be a little nicer to me first.
Fine. The girl turns back to her work and begins to look through the other files. Gaki stands there, waiting for her sudden change of tone, but nothing ever happens.
I'm waiting. Hey, aren't you going to try to flirt the information out of me? I mean, it's valuable intel that I have here.
Whatever you know isn't worth stooping that low.
But I'm easy. You don't even have to do anything. Just give me a smile. A wink, even. A friendly handshake.
Still, the Gumiho doesn't pay the man an ounce of attention. He stomps his feet and storms out of the room, leaving Jules with a smirk on her face and a fresh lead on her investigation. To Jules' shock, the dining room opens with her keycard. Only two people are sat at the table, ready for dinner. Anzu is still missing, and Kali is looking glumly down at her plate. The only acknowledgement of the girl's entrance gets is from Saleos.
Glad you found your way this time.
And my keycard even worked for the door.
Well, I expect that you have Callie to thank for that.
Saleos motions towards a girl who's picking at her small meal of soup and bread. The silver-haired girl looks up at Jules, but says nothing in response. At least she's acknowledging me in public now. The Gumiho feels a little happy with all of these small victories of hers. The three of them begin their meal. Besides the sound of their chewing, everything's quiet and reasonably peaceful. Okay, I'm gonna stop it right here, actually. Save. Okay. I just wanted to point out that I didn't notice this last time. There's an affection meter. So, why do I have such a high thing with Anzu? 2.5. I had 2 when I started this today with Saleos, because I checked before I got off last time. So Gaki I've always had 1 with. I had 2 with Saleos, and I had 2 with Kali. I don't know what happened to Saleos, because he's my favorite, so that's depressing. I don't like that Anzu has 2.5 stars. That's crazy. Okay, and I don't know who this last person is, but it's fine. So yeah, I'm liking this game, and it's really interesting. So we will keep going and see what happens. Thank you so much for playing with me, and I had fun, and I hope that you did too. Please like and subscribe, it means so much to me, and I will see you later.